name's Jassim AlNashmi. I'm an architect and artist. Architecture comes first. I have my own practice, man-made studio. Things that I work on are either architectural projects, architectural renovations, interiors, and then furniture. There are incredible, dream offices that I wanted to work in. These are the next level offices that are seeing what theorists are saying, questioning things themselves, questioning their clients, and really doing groundbreaking stuff. When I came back and worked in these offices in Kuwait, I felt like these difficult questions weren't being asked. You know, architecture is a service, and it still is, and I still think it is. But there's something on top of the service, which is this cultural responsibility. And I felt that that was lacking. So that's where Man-Made Studio was created, because it was an empty gap that needed to be filled in the local design society. When I was studying in London, my whole project was about the journey is the destination. I chose to believe in this direction, which was to build guidelines, and you have to be strict with yourself. You have to have a code. Whatever it is, that's what makes you have dignity. For those people who really appreciate and understand the value of process, it's because they don't know what they're gonna end up with. And that's why when they end up with whatever it is, they know all the steps that it took to get there and why it's so magnificent. And it means more for yourself, but also the viewers. I guess it started from photography, even art in general. Back in high school, I just bought my first DSLR and I was taking photos of flowers or whatever. Anyone who buys a camera does the same stuff. And then I went into uni in the States, and I was interested in joining different clubs. So I joined a photography club, and they encouraged me to put my photos in a gallery, and that was the first time I ever exhibited any photos. They were taken in the US. I'm not a professional photographer, I'm a fine art photographer. So I'm really interested in the process of creating photos. The camera is a Lubitel 166 Plus. It's a film camera. The photos in the Blur series, or usually any one that I take with that camera, are where I feel like the authorship is split between me and the camera. You don't see exactly what I wanted to take. There's some manipulation by the camera that's made in those photos. And there's a few different reasons why these photos are the way they are. After I take the photos, I leave the camera in my car and it gets really hot and the film gets distorted, and so some of the colors change. Some of the reasons I can't explain. And I think that's when it's purely the camera saying, I think the photo should be like this. After the photo was taken, how it's developed and then how the photo is printed was a big question for me. I tried printing on paper. I feel like it wasn't resonating for whatever reason. And then when it was printed on aluminium, then it felt like it belonged on that material. There's always this question of taking it to the next level. I became really interested in poetry. I wrote some poems with some of the photos and then hung them up with the photos, and then, they were really well appreciated because there's this new layer to this photo that no one knew about, and it completely gives it another meaning. Thinking about what's gonna matter to me, I was thinking about nomadic settlers, Bedouins, living in tents all the way back then, and what was important to them, because they had a very simple lifestyle. They read poetry. In order to be a more cultured and wise person, you need to experience things. If you want to be really authentic, it's very important to put yourself out there, experience things, and read.